Hi there everybody, Mars here, the teaching professional at Southwick Park Golf Club. Look, it's that time of year, we've had the Masters, the weather's starting to perk up a little bit and the greens are coming to life. Maybe it's that time of year you should be looking to have a look at a new putter, maybe regrip your putter. But I'm going to give you a few tips on what you should and shouldn't look for when buying a putter and maybe the things to avoid. So let's start off right with the number one thing is you've gone into a pro shop, you've grabbed a putter and you've stuck it on the ground. Do you like the look of it? I know that sounds like the most basic thing to say and maybe not the ultimate way to buy a putter, but if you don't like how it looks and how it sits, I think probably very shortly you're going to find a good reason why you don't like it when you're missing putts. So that is basic, but you'll probably find you like a style of putter. It suits your eye a little bit better. So let's talk about styles of putters. There's really two to talk about. So this is what I would call a blade putter. To me, it's a Ping Answer from the 1950s. It's Tiger Woods' Scotty Cameron. It's that head shape. They all look the same really. It's slightly different. There's twists on it, but basically that's your blade putter. Or a mallet. Obviously a mallet putter is much bigger and more stable because of its moment of inertia really. So I'm going to show you two things about these two putters that you should consider in your. So this is a face balance putter. You can see how the face sits nice and square. Or you could have a bladed putter, which is a toe hang putter or toe balance putter. So why would you choose one over the other? This one is more that suits a slight arc to a golf swing. And it's really about how the club enters into the head. So you can see this one enters slightly differently to that one. And that's really the main reason why it would hang like that. I could show you a different one. Let me find you something different. Here's a TaylorMade Spider, which is obviously a face balance putter. And that's pretty much how they are. Even some bladed putters can be face balanced as long as it goes into the neck in a certain way. So there's these sort of gooseneck, swan neck. You can even get a centre shafted putter, which I always used to quite like. It seemed to make sense to have a shaft that went right into the middle of a putter. So yeah, that's your two head shapes, and you should start to then put clubs on the ground and see if you like that head shape sitting on the floor. So that's one. So the second thing probably will be how the face is made up. So a lot of clubs now may just have a plain metal milled face, and some, which you'll notice, have inserts. This TaylorMade, for example, has got inserts and grooves. Not so long ago they had a putter called the C-Groove putter, which are all these things to promote topspin. You don't want a putter skidding, you want it rolling end over end. But having a sort of raw metal face might help your feel. The feel quite often comes from the clicky sound that you can hear, and that can help people judge distance quite well. It'll always sound slightly softer coming off an inserted putter. Good or bad, you choose. Then on to weights of putters. Quite often obviously a mallet putter could be heavier, but like this TaylorMade has weights in it. Sometimes you just pick a putter up and think, oh, that feels light, and that might be a good reason why you wouldn't like it, but it also might be a really good reason why it would be great on a fast green. So there's two things to look at there. Now on to some of the more important things probably. One of them would be length for sure. There was a great putting doctor back in the day called Harold Swash, and he would only teach a tour player that had a 34-inch or less putter. He felt that any longer was just adding more danger. Obviously the longer it was, the more it would sort of move about, so the shorter it was, the more controllable. So 34 or 35 for most men, 33 for some ladies, but don't be frightened to shorten the putter. If you feel like you get your eye over it, one of the important things, if it's too long for you, you can get it a little bit too far away from you, and then it'll sit a bit toe up. And that probably wouldn't be great, especially if you caught the heel every now and then. So you want that to sit as flush as it can with your eye directly over the ball. So that just needs a little fiddling about and seeing where you want to put your hands and getting to, because you want to be in a really comfortable, relaxed putting position. You don't want anything too awkward or unorthodox. What else? Grip, very important. It's the only thing really in contact with you. Now I think in the shop I've got something like 15 different types of putter grip, but let's boil them down into two. Now I'm going to call this a pistol. So a pistol putter grip, quite often a thinner, and have this slight contoured butt end. Now that makes sure that you get the club in the same place pretty much all the time, which is good for your consistency. For example, on this Odyssey, the grip thickness is pretty much the same all the way down. which means then you can move your hands up and down. So you might want to go up a little bit for a longer putt and down for a short one. Quite a nice idea. That's why these fatter grips have become more popular, because there's less hand movement. So that's pretty much, we're getting there now of starting to make a decision. Now we probably want to talk about alignment aids. So do you need something to give you real alignment, or do you want very little and go with what is feel and instinct? So the biggest selling putter of all time now is an Odyssey 2 ball, and there's obviously a lot of variations of this Odyssey 2 ball. So when I've got another white disc in front, these discs are obviously exactly the same size as the golf ball, so I've got a little line now to help me align. They've all got something normally, apart from the very purest blades, which will have nothing. Even if it's a tiny little line, then at least you've got something to line your club head up and ball. So yeah, choosing a putter is difficult. My advice to you, and what I'd really always like someone to do, is take half a dozen that they like the look of and take them out into the putting green, and then start to go with a little process of elimination. That really is always the best way. Once you start rolling the ball, you might think, don't like how that comes off, don't like the grip, and you can start to discount them, and you'll end up normally with the one you want. So look, if you want any more advice, I'll very happily give it to you. It's a shame I'm not a better putter to demonstrate. I actually have an arm lock putter at the moment, which is okay. I mean, so there's no right and wrong way. You just keep looking, keep trying, but bear in mind the important things. Do you want it face balanced? Have a look how it goes into the hosel. How long do you want it? What type of grip do you want? Do you need alignment aids? There's a bit to take in, but go with your gut. That'll be back to the start again. I would initially go with my gut. Thanks for watching.